Streets reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you check out blackfilesnews.com/shop. Link in the Instagram bio. The supporters will continue to support y'all. Now, that $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package was actually passed, initially proposed by President Joe Biden, was actually passed by the Senate this past Saturday, barely. 50 to 49 was the vote. Not one Republican voted for it, but here's what's in it. $1,400 checks coming to you if you make less than $75K a year. If you're a couple making less than $150, completely cut off for you if those numbers are 80 and 160. Also, there's an extension of unemployment benefits to $300 by $300 per week, as opposed to the $400 a week proposed by the House of Representatives. Also, there's extended money for local governments for vaccine distribution and testing and centers. There were even Democrats that joined against that $15 minimum wage amendment. So we'll see how this turns out. Green Wall graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. So over the weekend, 4,800 deaths due to COVID-19 throughout the United States. Now, daily infections and death rates have actually dropped since the record highs that actually happened in January, but they've only plateaued to numbers that are similar to what happened during the summer. And then, after the summer, we got another surge. So you have Dr. Anthony Fauci, the White House medical advisor, who's actually warning of a fourth surge in cases if these governments continue to roll back mask mandates and coronavirus spread measures, especially with these COVID-19 variants being out here. Now, you have Asa Hutchinson, the Republican governor of Arkansas, talking about rolling back mask mandates by the end of the month. In Cali, they're going to open baseball stadiums and amusement parks, including Disneyland, on April 1st. And New York is opening movie theaters for the first time in nearly a year. Green Wall News reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. So, over in Minnesota, the jury selection actually begins today for the murder trial of Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, who last year had kneeled on the neck of a George Floyd for nearly 9 minutes, killing him. And this video that was actually seen across the country and of course around the world sparked a bunch of BLM protests and then some. So then you have this weekend, you had hundreds of protesters actually going to the streets calling for an end to police brutality as a whole. And with the Derek Chauvin case, you actually have them Minneapolis police actually expected to spend $1 million in barbed wires and barricades in order to plan for the 1,000 police officers and National Guard troops that'll be in the streets for this trial. Green Wall graduation. Reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. Make sure you check out blackfilesnews.com/shop. You can find a link in the Instagram bio. Support the movement as we continue to support y'all. A lot of paraphernalia on there. Match anything in your wardrobe on guard. Now, check this out though. The Rochester police again in some hot shit, because there's this footage that's actually circulated around the Rochester, New York police tackling and pepper spraying this African American woman who was walking out with her 3-year-old after being accused of shoplifting. Now, keep in mind that back in January, they actually had an incident where they pepper sprayed and arrested this 9-year-old black girl. And you have the New York Civil Liberties Union basically saying that in no police department that uses tactics designed to cause a physical and psychological torture on black toddlers, children, and mothers has any iota of legitimacy, accountability, or trust. And Streets reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. So, President Joe Biden has actually passed an executive order designed at promoting the expansion of access to voters at these polls. Now, this is coming as you got Republican state senators all across the United States that are actually passing bills to restrict voting access. So keep in mind, this is on the 56th anniversary of Bloody Sunday. This is the civil rights event where you had activists, including Martin Luther King or whatever, actually being led to march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, in order to protest and demand voting rights for African Americans. And you had, as they crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge of Selma, they were actually met by police, and then they were beaten, attacked with electric cattle prods and tear gas and police dogs and all of that. So Streets reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/shop. Also, blackfoxnews.com/LK. Let's post about it. LK is an acronym for that phrase, and it's basically our own social media platform. More perks on the way when you check that out. Over in Senegal, though, there have been fights going on, clashes, all-out clashes between the protesters and security forces since last Wednesday, when they actually arrested opposition leader Ousmane Sonko, the person that would likely be the key challenger to President Macky Sall in 3 years for the presidential election. Sonko was actually accused of rape and was arrested for basically raping a woman that worked at a massage parlor, though he has denied all charges. Protesters are also calling for protesting against like the economic instability, lack of jobs, and the presidency assault. Green War and graduation. Streets reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in Somalia, Africa, and actually near the capital, Mogadishu, there's a port near the capital, and a restaurant near that port, outside of which a car bomb actually detonated on Friday, and this actually led to the murder of 20 people, and it injured 30 people. So this was a suicide car bomb detonation that went off. Now, this attack actually canceled a protest that was scheduled to essentially rally against the indefinite postponement of the national elections of that country amid an ongoing constitutional crisis over there. So we'll see how all that turns out. Green War and graduation. Streets reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in Equatorial Guinea in Africa, you know, sits at the equator, Equatorial Guinea. Equator splits the earth from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere. For you dumb motherfuckers that skip too many classes in grammar school, I know some of y'all follow me, I got y'all. But nevertheless, in Equatorial Guinea, there was actually a series of explosions that took place near a military barracks, and it actually murdered at least 20 people and injured hundreds. I'm talking about, this is a major scene. You're talking about big clouds of smoke going on in the air, big roofs getting ripped off of buildings, bunch of people getting taken to the hospital. The president of the country, Teodoro, Obiang Nguema, actually said that this was the negligent handling of dynamite. But he's calling for an investigation into it and for international assistance in rebuilding the place. Green War and graduation. Streets reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over there in Burma, Asia, they've been getting cracking ever since that military coup actually took place on February 1st that overthrew the civilian leader over there, Aung San Suu Kyi. Now, there's an official that was actually a member of Kyi's party that actually was held in police custody this past weekend that said to have died in police custody. So there's some 30 games being going on over there, whatever. So far, 50 people have actually been killed in between these protests that have been going on for the past 5 weeks, as well as the violent crackdowns that have been taking place against these demonstrations. So far, all of the major labor unions of Burma have actually gone on a general strike. They're all called anti-coup, basically. And now you have soldiers actually camping out in some of these Rangoon hospitals and university campuses. And some people are saying that they're trying to terrorize the residents. Green War and graduation. Streets reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Over there in the Philippines, you actually have a local rights group accusing security forces of coming and killing 9 activists during a raid that took place on Sunday. Now, this raid apparently came 2 days after the president, Rodrigo Duterte, known for having a troubling human rights record and with his war on drugs, having killed thousands of people, if not tens of thousands. But this raid actually came 2 days after he was telling security forces to kill and basically get rid of any communist rebels. So onseers are saying that this is part of Duterte's like state-sponsored terrorism used to stifle dissent, basically, or get anybody from going against the establishment. Green War and graduation. Streets reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So, seems like they got some racism, a little bit of racism going on over there in Switzerland, which is surprising because Switzerland is known for being like, you know, really a real safe haven. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, though, they have you have Muslim advocates that are condemning this new far right rule that was passed that basically bans wearing Muslim face coverings in public places, so known as niqabs, Niqab. But they basically cover like the lower half of like a woman's face. And some Muslim women wear this, so they're looking at this as not only sexist but also Islamophobic. Now you had the far right campaign, putting posters out there in the streets talking about, stop radical Islam and extremism and all of that. So we'll see how this comes out. Green War and graduation. Report of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. So you actually had Pope Francis finishing his 3-day trip to Iraq, becoming the first Roman Catholic church leader to ever visit the country. Now he was over there, even visited the Mosul and other places that were destroyed by Islamic State fighters. Nevertheless, though, this is mostly obviously a majority Muslim country, so it was a big deal for him to do that. He capped his trip off with a meeting, holding a mass on Sunday in the capital of Kurdistan, which is Erbil. So I don't know, is this an extension of white supremacy, or is this really reaching out of a good white hand with no favors or strings attached? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I do know that they got a hell of a pedophile problem. Green War and graduation. Streets reporter of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. Make sure you check out blackfilesnews.com/music. Check out everything that our parent company Graduation Party has to offer. As far as music-wise, you got the Black Files News compilation album, which is actually streaming everywhere on all major streaming platforms. We also got albums by me and more music to come, so check that out. But over in this news, though, you have California Congressmember and former House of Representatives impeachment manager Eric Swalwell actually formally filing a lawsuit suing Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, and other Republicans for the January 6th insurrection that took place, where these MAGA cracker motherfuckers stormed the U.S. Capitol. And he's suing them for the injury and destruction that was caused on that day. And he said that Trump and Giuliani, they urged the violence to happen while then watching approvingly as the building was overrun. We'll see how that turns out. Green War and graduation. Streets reporter of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report, man. Oh no, how do you do it, Cuomo? The governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, has more calls now coming out asking for him to resign. After 2 more former aides of his actually have come out saying that, accusing him of essentially of sexual harassment, saying that he was asking invasive questions and making unwanted physical contact. So you even have Andrea Stewart-Cousins, who's actually the Senate Majority Leader for the state Senate in New York, joining the people of the long list of people that are calling for him to resign. I'm just like, yo, how are you the governor of New York and you out here sexually harassing people, knowing that all eyes is on you? I don't know. Maybe there's some funny stuff going on. I don't know. We will see, though. Green War and graduation. Streets reporter of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report, man. Just reminding y'all, today being Monday, March 8th, is actually the 50th anniversary of an astounding feat that took place that actually has led and contributed towards the freeing of our people, Black people in this country, as well as just like socially and politically conscious people in the country or whatever. And that is actually the successful attempt by the Citizens Commission to investigate the FBI in 1971, March 8th. Their attempt to actually seize documents from an FBI building in Media, Pennsylvania, where it actually revealed, they kept these documents and later leaked them, but these documents show the COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program that was used to surveil Black people protesting against Vietnam. So shout out to reporter of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. So over in New York City, you had on Friday people shutting down the Brooklyn bridges and the Manhattan Bridge. So the Brooklyn and Manhattan bridges over basically calling for rights and help, funding, assistance to immigrant workers who are basically essential workers or whatever, but due to the stipulations attached to these coronavirus bills, have been left out of the assistance part of this COVID-19 relief plans that the government has come up with. So a lot of these protesters were working in the food industry, cleaning, construction, or they lost their jobs due to the pandemic. So there's a Invest in Our Future bill they're trying to pass in New York legislation that basically would tax the wealthy to raise $50 billion to fund these people. And immigrant workers, domestic workers, immigrant women did the same thing in Jersey for Governor.